Hello, in this video we're going to talk about the mark of the beast. The main purpose of this video is to distinguish between the Bismillah and RFID. Those are the two things people are saying the mark of the beast could be. And in this video I'm going to tell you why the Bismillah is false. And RFID is the true mark of the beast. Now, that being said, why is Bismillah suddenly becoming one of the main reasons people are, or why is the Bismillah suddenly becoming a new proposed, I guess you could say, theory or prophecy for the mark of the beast? The reason this prophecy is being thrown around is because of a pastor named Walid Shubat. I don't know how to pronounce his name, no disrespect. He's a pastor that claims to be a Muslim ex-terrorist converted to Christianity. Walid Shubat does a good job in bringing Christians to Christ, but his prophecy of the mark of the beast is false. There's no way other than to say it. It's just simply not true. It can't be true. Based on the methods that he uses to expound this doctrine, it's obviously false. And I'm going to go through with you and show you how it's false. Okay, now, what Walid Shubat did, or where he got this prophecy from, or this idea, is that in the book of John of Revelation, it was written in Greek. Now, the number 666 in Greek, or chi chi stigma, is in Greek symbols. Now, these Greek symbols are the ones Walid Shubat looked like a mirror image of the Bismillah, the Arabic Bismillah. So he thought when John wrote the book of Revelation in Koine Greek that sorry, I blanked out for a second. Alright. So when he sorry. He thinks that when John wrote it in Koine Greek, he didn't understand the language of the mark. And he wrote down these symbols, the scribbles, and that's why he says that ancient scribes sometimes transcribed it as 666 and some of them transcribed it into 616, or copied it into 616, because nobody knew what he was saying. Well, I have evidence contrary to that. It says that the scribes did not copy it that way, because they thought it was Arabic script, or they didn't know the language, or they had no idea. That can be found in the book The Lost Writings of Irenaeus of Lyons, or Against Heresies in Irenaeus of Lyons. Irenaeus was an old church father, and in Against Heresies, he says that translators mistakenly put 666 as 616, and other mistakes. He says that if people did this unknowingly, that's okay. Well, not that it's okay, but that they should just go ahead and correct it. And so people don't know because he says he worries that future generations, or generations present at his time, would look at 666 or 616 and not know what the true number was. And when the beast came, bearing that number, that the people wouldn't know and would be deceived. That's just one part. That's not the main argument for saying Walid Shubat's Bismillah is not the mark of the beast. That being said, no one should convert to Islam, because Islam is false. If you look at the Quran, you cannot follow the Quran and the Bible. The Quran says that Christ is not the Son of God. The Bible says he is. We base our faith on that. So you cannot believe it. Plus, there's a ton of other things the Quran just says that are straight lies. Prophet Muhammad was born in 500 AD, 500 years after Christ. So that's another topic. I'm sorry I'm getting off course. But back to the Bismillah. The Bismillah, the Chai Kai stigma, looks similarly, and this is the main reason it can't be true. When Walid Shubat looked at the Bismillah, when Walid Shubat looked at Chai Kai stigma, he looked at it in the Codex Vaticanus. And the Codex Vaticanus, it sort of looks like a mirror image of Chai Kai stigma, which is what John wrote in the book of Revelation as the number of the beast, or 666 in Greek. So when he looked at it, I guess there could have been a mirror image. I do honestly think it was a stretch since the beginning, but the only reason people are even believing this more, not than just Walid Shubat being the proponent of this prophecy, is because Islam does have a lot of similarities. Islam eschatology is the complete opposite of Bible end times revelations. They're waiting for a Mahdi. They think they're Isa or Isa or whatever, they're Christ. Looks just like our false prophet, or fits the characteristics and identity of our false prophet very well. Now, I'm not going to say that Islam cannot play a role in the end times, and that maybe the Mahdi will be the beast, and maybe Isa, their Christ, will not be the false prophet. I'm not going to say that. It could be. I do know that the mark of the beast is not the Bismillah, and that's the only part I'm going to argue. Okay, back to the Codex Vaticanus, which is what Walid Shubat looked at. Codex Vaticanus is a very interesting codex in the fact that the New Testament was not complete inside the codex. The Codex Vaticanus was missing the book of Revelation. So when the Vatican did, or whoever did, was they put the 15th century book of Revelation to complete the codex. By the way, they say this isn't hidden information. You can look it up on Google. I'll put all my sources under the YouTube video, hopefully. So the Codex Vaticanus was missing Revelation, so they put a 15th century book of Revelation inside it. So the Kai Chai stigma inside it, or the 666 that Walid Shubat that looked like a mirror image of the Bismillah, is not the same as the one in the more ancient manuscripts. In the more ancient manuscripts, it doesn't look like that at all. Because since it was from the 15th century, it was a different type of Greek. There's something called majuscules, uncials, or I don't know how to say it, uncials. The point being, the older versions of the older manuscripts of Revelation show something completely different than what Walid Shubat looked. And if you take the older versions of Revelation that still say 666, they look nothing like the Bismillah. Not mirror image, not supersized, not anything. You can find it on Google online. I'll show you two examples, or I'll tell you 2 examples right now. All right, the oldest manuscript or portion of Revelation, the chest